Title: 3 Signs Your Love is Actually Manipulation. The beginning felt like a movie, didn't it? Texts every 10 minutes, surprise flowers, playlists made just for you. You probably told your best friend, "I've never been this loved." But then fast forward 6 months and suddenly you're Googling, "Am I crazy?" at 2 a.m. because every simple conversation turns into an argument you somehow end up apologizing for. That kind of emotional whiplash is disorienting, and if it sounds familiar, please stay right here. This video might just save your sanity. We're going to dive deep into what's really happening. Picture this. You walk into the kitchen, maybe a little hesitantly, and say, "Hey, I'm a little hurt you forgot our anniversary." 30 seconds later, they snap back, "I can't believe you're attacking me after everything I do for you." And what happens next? You leave the room apologizing, feeling like you did something wrong, only to realize later that you never even got an apology back. That kind of emotional flip isn't love, that's manipulation wearing love's hoodie. Today we're breaking down the 3 biggest neon signs that spell control instead of care. It's time to recognize these patterns and reclaim your peace. Sign 1. Love bombing that never stops. Until it does, love bombing is basically the deluxe edition of flattery, right? It's constant compliments, expensive gifts, rapid-fire promises about your future together. Think of it as an emotional ambush designed to sweep you off your feet before you even know what's happening. Real love is steady, it builds slowly. Manipulative love is a firework, loud, bright, and then often gone. But what makes this tactic so incredibly toxic is the timing and the intent behind it. Manipulators shower you with affection to gain control and create emotional dependency. A 2022 study in the Journal of Interpersonal Violence found that partners who received more than 30 idealizing messages a day were 3 times more likely to report emotional dependency within 6 weeks. That's not just a coincidence, it's a calculated strategy. Translation: the bomber isn't genuinely giving, they're harvesting you for addiction, creating an intense emotional bond that makes it difficult to end the relationship. Here is the sneaky part. They keep that shower of affection running just long enough for you to willingly cancel your own boundaries. You stop seeing friends because those nightly 3-hour FaceTimes feel so good, so validating. You mute group chats because they whisper, "Those people don't celebrate you like I do," or "They're just jealous of what we have." Once your world shrinks to their size, once you're isolated and dependent, that's when the gifts slow, the compliments cool, and suddenly you're working overtime to earn back the kindness that used to be automatic. That shift from constant candy to intermittent crumbs is textbook intermittent reinforcement, the same psychological mechanism that keeps people glued to slot machines. You're constantly chasing that initial high, that intense feeling of being adored, hoping that if you just do enough, be enough, the good times will return. If you find yourself feeling grateful for basic politeness, or if you're constantly trying to win back their affection, ask yourself, did the standard of love drop, or did the illusion just finally clear? This isn't about genuine connection, it's about control established through intense, but ultimately conditional, affection. Sign 2. Gaslighting that rewrites the room. Gaslighting at its core is the art of making you doubt concrete facts. It's not just a disagreement or a difference of opinion, it's a deliberate, insidious edit of your reality. You'll hear classic lines like, "That never happened," or "You're imagining things," even when you remember it vividly. Over time, you start to internalize it, thinking, maybe I am too sensitive, too jealous, too dramatic. You begin to question your own memory, perception, and sanity. This erosion of self-trust is precisely why it's so effective. A 2021 YouGov poll showed 62% of adults couldn't define gaslighting correctly, which is exactly why it works. Most of us don't spot the trick until we're already dizzy from the constant questioning. It's a tactic designed to make you lose confidence in your own judgment, making you more reliant on the gaslighter's version of events. Here's a quick test. Mention an episode of The Office, any episode. If they insist, we've never watched that together, and you distinctly remember eating popcorn through it with them, that's a red flag the size of Dwight's bobblehead. The goal isn't to win the argument, it's to exhaust you into surrender, to make you doubt your own experiences until you just give up. Once your memory feels unreliable, you unconsciously lean on theirs, and that dependency hands them the steering wheel of your shared reality. Healthy partners might forget details, we all do that, but manipulators actively rewrite whole seasons of your shared life, or deny things they said or did, even with evidence. They might even accuse you of lying or being crazy for remembering things differently. If you find yourself keeping voice notes, screenshots, or journals to check the tape because you can't trust your own recollections anymore, congratulations, you've already sensed the trap. You're fighting for your own mind, and that's a battle you absolutely have to win. Sign 3. Jealousy framed as devotion. Normal jealousy pops up sometimes, we acknowledge it, and then it fades. It's a fleeting emotion. But manipulative jealousy, that's a subscription service you can't cancel. They'll say things like, "I just love you so much it hurts when anyone looks at you." Cute on paper, right? But in practice, it's terrifying. It's a way to justify controlling behaviors under the guise of deep affection. Over time, the rules tighten. You start changing outfits to avoid attention, you delete innocent social media posts, you pre-screen stories through their mood, censoring yourself before they even have a chance to react. Psychologists call this mate guarding, and a 2023 meta-analysis linked excessive guarding to a 5-fold increase in controlling behavior within a year. It's a slippery slope where their insecurity becomes your prison. They might subtly, or not so subtly, try to isolate you from friends and family, making you more dependent on them. Notice the clever branding. They aren't possessive, they're protective. They aren't isolating you, they're prioritizing us time. The moment you object or try to assert your independence, you become the betrayer. Why would you want strangers to see what's mine? Or if you loved me, you wouldn't need to go out without me. That guilt hijacks your right to basic social oxygen, to your own identity outside of them. It's emotional blackmail, making you feel responsible for their feelings. Real love trusts and encourages your individual connections. Manipulation monitors and restricts. If your phone battery dies and their first question isn't, "Are you okay?" but, "Who are you really with?" That's not devotion. That's a parole officer with heart emojis, and it's a sign that their jealousy is actively working to control your life. So far, we've covered the 3 big ones: endless fireworks that fade to darkness, reality rewrites that make you question your sanity, and jealousy sold as romance. Keep the scorecard handy. 2 out of 3 already spell control, not love. If any of this is clicking a little too hard, hit pause, take a breath, and drop a in the comments so other survivors know they're not alone. Sharing your experience, even anonymously, can be incredibly powerful. And hey, if you want practical tactics to set boundaries without feeling like you're setting off World War III, I've got a whole playlist dedicated to dealing with toxic dynamics. The link will be at the end. Remember, recognizing these signs is the first brave step. Section 4, what healthy looks like, so you can recalibrate. It's easy to get lost in what's wrong, so let's talk about what's right. Healthy affection grows like a tree, not a firework. It's about slow, steady rings and strong, deep roots. Compliments come without strings attached, given freely because they genuinely appreciate you, not as a means to an end. Disagreements happen, of course, but they end in compromise and understanding. not character assassination or one person always winning. Both partners are accountable, willing to admit when they're wrong, and work towards solutions together. Jealousy might show up as a quick passing feeling, voiced with vulnerability, then self-soothed. "I felt a little weird when you hugged him, but I know that's my stuff, not yours." There's trust there. Most importantly, your memories stay yours. No one edits the footage of your shared life. Your sense of self remains intact, and you're encouraged to pursue your own interests and maintain your friendships. Healthy love feels free and safe, not confusing or controlling. Keep this bar in view. Anything lower costs extra sanity you shouldn't have to pay. Section 5. How to respond, not react. Manipulators feed on urgency and emotional reactivity. Calm, clear communication is their kryptonite. When they try to twist facts or deny reality, respond with the broken record technique. Calmly repeat your truth without getting drawn into new angles or justifications. Try phrases like, "I remember it differently and that's okay," or "My experience was X." You don't need to convince them, only to hold your ground. If they escalate, end the conversation. Timeouts are boundaries, not abandonment. You're allowed to protect your peace. It's crucial to document incidents while they're fresh in your mind. Dates, times, and specific statements can be invaluable if you ever need outside support. This isn't about being paranoid, it's about protecting your reality. And please, tell one trusted friend or family member what's happening. Secrecy is the greenhouse gas that lets manipulation grow, making you feel isolated and alone. Talking to someone you trust can offer perspective and validation that you might not be getting in the relationship. Finally, if you sense any danger or if the manipulation escalates to abuse, skip the comments section and call a local hotline or the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. You deserve help, support, and safety, not hero points for enduring emotional abuse. Taking steps to protect yourself is a sign of strength, not weakness. Knowledge is power, but shared knowledge is a shield. Share this video with anyone who's dating again after a messy breakup, or someone who just needs to hear this message. Algorithms boost signals, but survivors boost each other. Let's create a ripple effect of awareness and empowerment. Love should feel like a safe, warm porch light guiding you home, not a harsh police spotlight that leaves you feeling exposed and interrogated. If your romance keeps you guessing, doubting your own mind, or constantly apologizing for simply existing, it's not love. It's manipulation wearing a really convincing perfume. Remember the 3 signs: love bombing that turns to neglect, gaslighting that rewrites your brain and makes you question your sanity, and jealousy masquerading as flattery or protection. Spot them early, name them out loud, and choose yourself first. You're not crazy, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone in experiencing this. Take back your reality, set that boundary firmly, and let the right people, starting with you, love you for real. You deserve a love that uplifts, respects, and frees you to be your authentic self.